Hello, this is the Radio Geek, and today for you I have another radio. This is the Kchibo KK9803. Kchibo. With a name like Kchibo, it has to be good, right? Oh, I guess that's Smuckers. Anyway, it's a very small AM FM shortwave radio, 10 bands, AM, FM, and 8 shortwave bands. It comes in this box with a picture of the radio. We'll get it out here for you. No frills or anything on this one, just your basic small radio here. And bubble wrap and plastic wrap. And there we go. Let me get this adjusted just a little bit here. And there we go. So you can see, the size of your hand can cover the thing up, so it's pretty small. And I was looking on Amazon, and I saw they had these. These are like regular, like, I don't know, $12 or $14, something like that. And they had them on sale, special, whatever you call it, on Amazon. And I don't know if there's currently still this price or not, but it was $6.99, so $7 for an AM/FM shortwave radio. Less than the price of a meal at McDonald's. You can have a radio. So I figured, well, why not? Let's check it out, see what it's all about. For $7, what can you expect, right? Not much. All right, on the front here, we have a tune indicator LED and AM LED that comes on when you're in that mode, and an FM LED when you're in that mode that comes on. It has band select. You can either select AM or FM. And when you have the AM band selected, then these position switches down here come into play. And that's medium wave and the 8 shortwave bands with this switch down here. Top, you have your telescopic antenna for your FM and your shortwave. And on the side here, you just have your tuning wheel and your on and off switch. Position up for off, down for on. The back has a little kickstand that you can lay it back on like so, and the battery door, which it takes 2 AA batteries that are not included. And on this side we have the volume control, the earphone jack, the wrist strap, and an input for DC input, which is 3 volts. However, the center is the negative, the outside is the positive, backwards from almost anything else around. So if you do decide to find a little wall cube to run this guy, make sure that you've got your polarity correct, because a $7 radio, they probably are not going to spend the extra, half a penny on a protection diode inside, but who knows. So I just thought we'd give it a quick scan. I've played with it before earlier, and really for a $7 radio, it's quite surprising. So let's see. We'll turn it on here. Well, let's do the I guess FM band scan real quick. All right. Try not to keep my hands in the way there. The tuning knob is a bit stiff. It's not smooth. I did a review on a supersonic, and it was pretty smooth in comparison to this. This is kind of stiff, From the Chamber Music Society of Lincoln Center. As you can see, it's kind of not very flat on the bottom, so it kind of teeters a bit. So it'll probably get knocked over easily. Society delivers dazzling performances
performances by virtuosic musicians to countless devoted listeners. No, you're not an apostle. I get that. Escher Quartet in Charles Ives Quartet No. 1 from the Salvation Army.
Times when you feel underclubbed for that.
Coming in straight from center field.
See, the tuning indicator comes on when you get a strong station.
Local here, but I am told, and now looking online, there have been some very strong Santa Ana winds here. Here in Southern California. Call it bi-directional, meaning feeling sad makes you slouch more, and having slouched posture makes you feel sadder.
IFYL. Intelligence for your life.
Said it was unnecessary to ban the company. There's a land that is fairer than day. Both Canada and its allies, including the United States, to security risks. They suggest that Canada and about 50 with my mom living alone. Life
To us every Saturday at 9 a.m. right here on PBS.
So, you know, FM's fairly respectable. I mean, got quite a few stations there, and I had it playing earlier and got quite a few more. So let's see, we'll put it on AM. And put it on the medium wave.
Breezy at times tomorrow, high of 55. Mostly clear tomorrow night and 30 expected.
Throughout our local neighborhood, we care for our homes and our community as well.
Financial Instruments here in Toledo. I'm ready to work with you to help.
Voice.
How will you use it?
Make your voice heard.
Radio, even when you're not listening, easy. Follow us on Twitter @Wood Radio.
Snyder, you probably don't even know about that, but it is tax day for many. Well,
Me much differently on the subject.
I disagree, but I don't want to have that fight with you.
Hey, it's okay.
Another fight with you.
Listen, it's okay. In the meantime, I'm president and you're not.
1-2 on the way again. Fastball at 99.
Last hour, I don't know if you missed it, but...
Cette vague d'immigration qui se terminera avec la crise économique des années 30 sera si importante qu'on en parlera même comme de la grande hémorragie.
A lot of these, you know, of course, you've seen all these teams before, and speaking of familiar, your foe in the first round is extremely familiar. You just
practices, Jake Lewis. I'm on here with
How we can get better and how we're going to get better. And when you see that and there's no situation where guys are pointing
/Blackhawks. Speaking of the Blackhawks, they'll play Arizona Thursday, pregame with Chris Bowden at 7, face-off at 7:30 with John and Troy on 720 WGN and WGNradio.com Monday night.
They get the ball back with 1 minute and 12 seconds to operate with.
Now the dial is a bit off. It seems to be a little higher than it really is.
With 1 minute and 12 seconds and all of his timeouts, that is a bunch of
I think this might be WLW Cincinnati. I was listening to it earlier.
Early for this 49ers offense. And Kurt, I think you have been talking with 49ers defensive coordinator Robert Saleh.
So as you can see, it picked up quite a few AM stations, and that was just a kind of a quick scan there on the AM band. I didn't really try too hard, so that's pretty respectable. Let's see, we'll try some of the quickly through a couple of the shortwave bands here. This should be the 5.7 megahertz through 8.4 shortwave 1. That one's booming.
De una década, la economía de Estados Unidos se enfrenta a una desaceleración inminente a medida que la política monetaria más estricta.
Yeah, it's a little bit after 8 p.m. local here, Eastern time. It's picking up quite a lot of stations.
Profitable stores near the end of the year, in addition to the 46 stores that had already identified. And there are places on the internet where you can see where the stores are located after company currently has.
Sideband.
Estás escuchando Pelota de Grandes Ligas.
Bueno, estábamos discutiendo que si Yacine había bateado como hecho como bateador, batea 100.
Another band. This is shortwave 2, 6.9 to 7.8 megahertz, I think.
Many cable channels, networks throughout the country. Right, well, throughout the world as well. Because we're on Intelsat.
Shut it down, breaking it beef.
There he is.
And the 10 horns out of this king of our kings.
The infamous Brother Stare.
Another shall rise after them. And he shall reign in victory.
Night after night, I will remember you're with me in this fight. Although the
Esto, el que no sabe de béisbol no sabe, ¿viste? Eso no, trata de darle con un palo a cualquier cosa que le tire para ver lo difícil que es. Y sobre todo cuando el pitcher la está tirando con la más mala de las intenciones, que usted no le dé. Esto, con la...
CW. Alright, try one more here. This is shortwave 3, 9.1 to 10 megahertz, or 10.2 megahertz rather. sounds like WWE, but I wonder if that's the Canadian one, because it's around 9 megahertz, or at least according to the dial it is.
Disaster, even if that disaster is halfway around the world, these signals that we send here from WRMI, these signals will reach around the globe and can be used to provide that vital information. I know the radio show that I produce in the weekends, your weekend show, is heard by countless thousands in various parts of the world. And from time to time, I'll get an email or a letter to let me know they're listening, and I've seen pictures of people gathered around the radio to actually hear that broadcast. We take for granted in the Western world of Europe and the United States.
No doubt they're listening on their Kchibo. Oh, there's 10 megahertz.
At the tone, 0 hours, 15 minutes. Coordinated Universal Time.
So there you go. The Kchibo KK9803. Quite an amazing radio for $7. Now, it's, it's something interesting to note is that since this radio is $7, you're not expecting a whole lot. So you go into it with that. I mean, the dial indicator is small, it's stiff, it's hard to read, a number of other things, but you can overlook all that because it's a $7 radio. Now, had I paid, $40 or $50 for this radio, I'd be pretty disappointed, and quite a different review, I'm sure. But for $7, this thing is pretty amazing what it gets. And there are reviews on the internet for this thing. This radio has been around for a long time, probably 10 plus years. And some of the reviews on this radio are just horrible, that it's the worst radio on the face of the planet. And I don't know if they've improved things, or if their expectations were higher, or maybe they paid a lot more than $7 for it. But for $7, I mean, you just can't beat this just for fun, tuning around. And if you forget it and you leave it at the park, or you drop it and it gets ran over by the bus, it's not really a big loss, but a lot of fun for just $7. And one thing I did notice on here, and I don't know if the camera can pick it up or not, but here in the corner, right underneath the model number, it says SW Trump. Now, I'm assuming SW is shortwave, but I don't know why it says Trump there, but I'll see if I can bring it in a little bit closer here. If you can see that. Hopefully that's focusing. Anyway, I just thought that was kind of amusing, just a little icing on the shortwave cake, so to speak. But anyway, if you can get one of these on Amazon or elsewhere for $7, I mean, I would say get one, because it's just a really nice little radio for $7. It works pretty good. I mean, on the AM band I was getting WLW and some of the other high powered close DX. It wasn't doing bad. On the shortwave, you heard how active that was and what we were picking up here just a little after dark here. So I say, yeah, get one of these, maybe give it to a kid and show him how it works and give him a challenge to see how many stations he can find, and maybe he could log them and get somebody interested in radio. But for $7, I don't think you can go wrong with it. So anyway, hope you guys like the review of the Kchibo, and until next time, this is the Radio Geek.